All right. Never know if I should do an intro on a live event when no one's here, but I suppose people can watch it later. So we're out fishing today, trying to get in between the storms. Um, it's going to rain all weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's a long weekend. Have opportunity to go fishing a bunch of times, but with this weather, I don't know if it'll work out that way. I just heard some thunder, but it's really not supposed to start raining until 5, 6 o'clock tonight, so I thought I'd try to get something going. Pretty much in the same spot that I like to go to. It's easy access to the launch, so if it starts thunder and lightning, I can get out of here pretty quick. We got that ridge on this side that I like to fish. I was down at the dock fishing yesterday, fishing that same ridge line, and caught a big old blue cat. So I'm hoping to recreate that today. It was probably 12 to 15 pounds, big old head on it. I think it was a male. We're pre-spawn, so they're around. They're ready to bite. You should be able to see the clouds all around me. So we'll be getting some rain. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much. If it does start raining, I will have to put my phone away so it doesn't get wet. But I really went live because I actually forgot all my camera equipment, so I can't even film any videos. So I don't know, I guess I'm just fishing today, so which is kind of unusual for me. But I got a headpiece over here on that ridge line. The water's up a little bit. They are releasing water, so there's a bit of a flow. And I got a body chunk over here. We'll give it about 15-20 minutes a spot, and then we'll move to see what's up. But other than that, just hoping to get some fishing going. What's up, man? Capybara, thanks for joining. I'm still trying to figure out this live rig. My camera sits on this pole nicely, but the phone is a little heavy on one side, or it doesn't sit even in the and it spins it. So if it moves on me, I apologize for that. But we just got out here. I got baits in the water 5 minutes ago. We'll see what happens. I came down to the boat ramp and caught some skipjack last night, and the catfish were still biting. So with this stormy weather coming in, I'm just hoping the barometric pressure is right. They do like to bite. They do like to bite right before storm. So maybe we'll get lucky. I thought about heading to the flathead hole, but with them releasing water and this possible storm coming in, I decided to go where I know I can control the boat, and I know I can get out of here before too much happens. Hey, super fly for super guys. Oh, all right. I appreciate you joining. Thank you. Got 3 or 4 of you in the chat room now. I'll do my best to say hi as you come in, but I'm sure I'll miss some of you. But been out, had baits in water about 5 minutes. We'll see what happens. See all these clouds? Might get some rain. North of us in Atlanta, they got a lot of rain. I guess they flooded the streets and stuff, so I think some of that's heading this way. Water's got a good color to it from all the other rain that we've been getting and all the water they're releasing, so it should be all right. Good murky water. And I think the conditions are right that they should bite. It's pouring in Canada, cats and dogs. In Ontario. All right, Superfly. They got catfish in Ontario, in Canada. Today I'm catfishing. I know they got everything in Canada, but I've never heard of catfishing up there. I know the water's cold. Trout, obviously, up there's salmon. I'm not even sure if they got bass. I mean, if they got bass in the northern states, imagine they got bass in Canada. Let me know what kind of fish they got up there in Canada. River's pretty busy for the threat of storm. Catfish. Okay, you do have some catfish. They get any size, or does the cold weather keep them from growing big? I know, like Wales catfish from Europe, they can get big, but it takes a long time because the water's cold in Europe. But when okay, you got bass fish up there as well. That's awesome. Love bass fishing. But the Wales catfish, when they were introduced into warm water dams like in Italy and different places around the world, they grew so fast and so big. We're talking 200, 300, 400 pounds, 8 foot long. They kind of got like a eel-shaped body. Perch, sunfish, bluegills, rock bass, crappie. Yeah, pretty much all the same things around here. These guys were just at the, you'll see them pass by in a moment. These guys were at the Flathead Hole. They weren't up there very long, so I don't know if they're biting or not. Oh, pike muskie, yeah. When I lived in Wisconsin, I caught a muskie. That was fun. It was a little guy, but that's a completely different style of fishing than I know. But I lived in Wisconsin for several years, and I got an opportunity to go a few times. They got big perch and bluegill up there, and they got them yellow perch. We have a few here, but they're hard to find. Carp. The catfish don't get too big. Okay. It's got to be the cold water. I bet over time, but you know, with predators and life cycles and stuff, I bet they don't have an opportunity to get big, but I bet they can. I'm probably going to get spun around here. I got a drift sock out, but the wind just kicked up straight from my back, and my boat likes to spin in the wind. Ooh, walleye, yeah. So where I grew up in Kansas, we had walleye, but they were fished out, and then as an adult, they started coming back. My brother caught like ounces away from the state record walleye out of our local river. It was huge. He had it mounted. It's a big walleye for our area. You don't want to lip them like you do bass. Same with pike and muskie. You just don't want to lip them. You got smallmouth bass up there as well? Because smallmouth, they thrive in cold waters. The Great Lake smallmouths are huge. Bass in these waters get huge. They got, this is what's called a southern strain bass. There's a northern strain and a southern strain. And the southern strain bass, because of the warm water, they can spawn several times a year, and there's a lot of prey fish for them to eat on. They get big fast. 6 pound bass, they consider that a small one around here. I've pretty much been focused on catfishing while I'm here since I've moved to Georgia. My brother was the catfisherman growing up, and I always chased bass. We're getting a bite on this pole, so let's see what happens. Oh, oh. Oh, he dropped it. I got too excited hoping to catch a fish on live. Maybe he dropped it. There's something weird going on. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's probably a gar. He was chewing that thing up. That was a whole body piece, and he was just chewing it up. Either a turtle or a gar. Yeah, smallmouth are fun, man. They are mean. Not mean toward people, but when you catch them, they don't like it, and they'll let you know about it. Putting back on I'm I'm starting out with small skipjack chunks, so not too big. Just trying to see what's biting. We got a bite there, so that was encouraging. I'm like sideways in the river now. I was facing north-south, but the wind's got me all twisted up. Fly fishing. Been a long time fly fisherman, last 35 years. I tie my own flies. I can tie any kind of insect you can imagine. That's pretty cool. I did some fly fishing for bass when I lived in Kansas. That was fun. And I would do topwater lures, some that float and some that sink, and it was effective, real fun. It was a good way to get out into the river and wade and kind of go to spots that you wouldn't normally go to and catch fish. The only thing is you'd have to find a pretty wide open spot for fly fishing, as far as casting. And I just bought a cheap one. Yeah, the wind is cool. My channel is called Big Guy Little Boat. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. And my boat is an 8-foot long bass prowler. You can buy them at Bass Pros, different hardware shops, different things like that. But it's a plastic boat. It does really well, but it does get pushed around by the wind a lot. How long is the fishing season in Canada? You do ice fishing? I suppose that would extend the season. I never ice fish. I am not a cold weather guy. But they loved it up in Wisconsin. And some of those rigs they got for ice fishing is you might as well have it's like a little apartment. TV, heater, carpeting. Pretty fancy. I'm not a cold weather guy though. I do not enjoy the ice or the snow. An inflatable pontoon. Like, is that one you set low in and your feet are in the water and you can kind of paddle around like that, or is it like a kayak that you set into? Yeah, I don't go ice fishing either, man. I don't get it. I don't knock it. People love it, but not for me. I think I stuck my they use flies for ice fishing, so I suppose obviously they're not using a fly rod. This would go on one of them small fishing rigs, but it's heavy and goes in the water and mimics a minnow. I would imagine. Yeah, okay. There's a guy who has one of those around here, and that looks pretty fun. In Georgia, they got alligators though, man. I don't know if I'd want to do that. I mean, I feel real close to the water sitting in this thing. You don't see them, but they're here. They pretty much avoid people. Ice fishing, man. Yeah, I don't get it. You're not gonna catch my old ass out there. I did buy a 14-foot John boat that I'm fixing up. This is my first boat I've owned, and I've loved it. I've really enjoyed fishing on the river in a boat. And so I went ahead and bought a project boat. Came with a 7 horsepower outboard. Been working on it every weekend. We'll have that out probably next summer. It's 14 feet, but it's not very wide. I think 50 inches at most. Real long and skinny. Can set 3 people or more. Hoping to be able to take some family members and stuff out. Oh, leeches. They got leeches up north when you're out in the water on your paddle pontoon. Yeah, with my 14-foot boat, I guess I'm still going to call my channel Big Guy Little Boat, out of respect for this little boat. But yeah, it should be next summer. Should be able to scoot around the river a little bit more, stay out longer, go to different places. Yeah, I'll be able to take family members out and friends and stuff. They got skipjack up north. We don't have them in Kansas, but this is a skipjack. They are, I think, part of the mackerel family, but they're freshwater. Real bony fish, really hard to hook. They short strike. And but this is catfish candy right here, man. And right now they're spawning and running. They are everywhere. Oh yeah, you can buy leeches as bait around here. I don't think I would ever use them, but they have what's called a shell cracker, which is a sunfish, like a perch, and they love the leeches. Even the power bait by Gulp, I think it's Gulp, they make a leech. It's a rubber, but it's real impregnated with scent and flavor, and they're slimy like a real thing, and they work really well. I got a jar of Gulp power bait maggots that work really well on bluegill. I think they got a much stronger scent than an actual worm or a maggot does. Some people like them, some people don't. If they work, I like them. Yeah, no skipjack up north. I never heard of them. It must be like a southern coastal thing. I never fished for them until I moved up here. They're fun. On an ultralight rig, using a sabiki rig, you could catch 4 or 5 at a time. It's crazy. I caught these skipjacks yesterday, froze them overnight, and then I caught a couple of freshmen to start out with. And once they thaw out a little bit more, I'll start cutting up some frozen skipjack. Well, if anybody has any questions while I'm out here, just let me know. I can see the screen pretty well, so not too bright. Try to keep the conversation going. If I do decide to move, though, I will stop the live because I don't want to drop my phone in the water. This line has slack in it now, and that usually means something picked it up, and now it's getting tight again. That could also mean the wind blew it too much. Yeah, those skipjack, when you hook them, they got such bony mouths and they short strike. So they're real hard to hook. You'll feel them hitting your lure, but they're just bumping into it. But when you do hook them, they'll throw a hook super easy because they jump like tarpon. It's crazy. You have to keep the rod tip down near the water and try to keep them from jumping, or they'll come right off the hook. And they get pretty hefty. If I get a small one, I'll use the whole thing as a bait while live, hook it right through the nose. So it kicks around underwater, causes a commotion. But they also get 12, 14 inches and maybe a pound. So they make really good chunked bait. Yeah, phones are expensive. I haven't lost a phone to the water yet, but I've lost a couple of action cameras because I haven't quite figured out the mounting system for my boat yet. But I think I got it set up good now. I have a crate in the front of me that holds my battery for my trolling motor, so it's real heavy. And I have a selfie stick that came with one of my cameras, the 360 camera, and I have it zip tied to this crate, so it's pretty secure now. Haven't had any trouble. Man, if you caught a skipjack on a fly rod, that would be real fun. They don't hit top water a lot. They do strike at the top water, but if you had a lure that went and mimicked a minnow, yeah, you would kill them, and they would be fun on a fly rod. Yeah, tarpon on a fly rod's crazy, but I see videos of guys in Florida doing it, and that's a heck of a fight. I'm gonna turn the camera around. We got a boat coming. I can show you what. It's a boat coming down the river down there. Got some nice rigs out here on the water. I gotta figure out this live camera setup. I have to build some sort of custom rig. They got a real nice aluminum boat. Lund, 14 foot, side console, good sized Mercury on there. Yeah, I bet those flies would do really well with the skipjack. We also have white bass in this river, and we have stripers and hybrids, which are striper and white bass hybrid. And they tear them up on fly rods down here. There's a whole couple of fly rod clubs that come down to the river and fish, and they tear those things up, and they fight like crazy. So I bet that's a good time. My little boat is pretty stable, but you know, it is affected by the boat waves as they come by, but not drastically. You're not going to tip over or anything. It's practically a pontoon boat. It's just little, and but I do enjoy it when a fisherman drives by nice and slow, nice and courteous. It's just kind of the river. Kind of river courtesy. I have a skipjack headpiece down here. I really thought it would have been hit by now. Seems to be one of their favorite pieces. Okay, you got white bass up north. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then. Those are all great fighting fish. White bass is good eating too, so stripers. I haven't caught a striper this year of any size. I haven't really been targeting them, and this last month was the month to really get a big one. But I've seen some big ones pulled out of here, 30 pounders. This river is also full of gar. I bet they got gar up north in Canada, but they get huge here. They got short nose and long nose gar. We're not quite in the right region for alligator gar, which get huge, but we do have a lot of gar, and they're all around me right now. You go back and look at one of my videos from about a month ago. I caught a big one in this little boat and was able to land it and everything. I use steel leaders, which helps a lot. Gar have very sharp teeth, and they'll cut any line that gets in their mouth, but they can't get through the steel leader. Just had fish jump right by the boat. It's probably a little skipjack. Wow, that's a big white bass. 30 pounds, that's a big white bass. Skipjack right here, going crazy. They do hit the top, I just don't know how to catch them from the top. Yeah, spotted gar. I think that's a variety they have around here. Different regions call the same fish different things. And I do think that spotted gar and long nose gar are the same thing. I could be wrong, but the one I caught, I believe, was a short nose gar, and it was 25, 30 pounds, about 3.5 feet long. It was big. Yeah, you get a nice long fluffy fly or a nylon lure to tangle up in their teeth. That's a good way to catch them. They're good eating too if you know how to cook them, but it's real bony fish. I don't target gar, but they happen to bite the same things that catfish bite, cut bait. And so I do bite, I do get them occasionally, but I don't target them. I have thought about targeting them because people seem to like the videos. I mean, I get it, they're big and exciting. If you watch the video, I try to get it in the boat 4 or 5 times, and when it gets to the boat and I start to grab it, if it freaks out and it scares the tar out of me, you'll see me retract like it's going to bite me, which almost every bit of a gar can hurt you. Their scales are razor sharp, their gill scales are razor sharp, their teeth are razor sharp, and I don't have the right equipment to land it, so when I catch one I have to gill it, and you have to grab it in just the right way. But the last one gashed my palm pretty good. I'm going to turn the camera around again and show you that there's another little boat that's out here all the time with me, and they I don't know, I've never been introduced to them, but they always wave when they come by. That might be too far for you guys to see, but they got floats. They're float catfishing, so they got these noodles out in the water that have float suspended baits, and they're pulling them in, so they're biting whatever they're using. Long nose and spotted gar are the same. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Used to have a neighbor when I was a kid that would catch gar and cook them. Man, we're good. Gar nuggets were good. I only catch and release. I don't want to clean fish. If I'm gonna eat a fish, it's gonna be from a restaurant or I'm gonna buy it from the store. All right, I'm gonna let this boat pass, and then I'm gonna stop the live, and I'm gonna go to a different spot. I have to pull in all the poles, take the phone down. I'll probably go live again since I forgot my video equipment and I won't be able to make a video today. He just drove by. He looked at me, did like this, like a question, and then he went thumbs up or thumbs down. So far I have to get him a thumbs down because nothing's biting. Catfish on fly, that's crazy. That's awesome. I mean, catfish are predators. People think of catfish as just being bottom dwelling trash eaters, but catfish are predators. That same sabiki rig that I've been catching all them skipjack on, little bitty flies, tiny little flies, with little bitty hooks. I caught a blue cat on one the other day. Little bitty blue cat. But catfish are predator. They will hunt. Yep, just drag it slowly over the bottom. I believe it. If you ever get a chance to come down south and fish for some flatheads, you should. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna turn the camera around. They're a little closer. Maybe you can see the floats in the water. I don't know if you can see. Their camera doesn't, they're maybe 100 yards at most from me, but the camera makes it look like they're miles down the river. But you can see their orange floats in the water, so their baits are just suspended above the bottom, and you can tell when one gets hit because it'll start moving around. It'll start swimming around. I see a lot of people down here doing that. Jug lines. All right, I'm going to finish this live, and then I'm going to move to a different spot, and I might come back. I appreciate the conversation, guys. Have a good day.